Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't agree with me, no. Dying don't agree with me, no. All you bored ghosts, come with me, we're going home.
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. We can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is Fiasco, a continuation of our game from the Lucky Strike playset. If you want to learn how we generate our story and play our game of Fiasco, check out our rules primer on Fiasco.
And listen to John's sultry voice as he
Welcome.
soothes you back into the Board Ghost experience.
I'm like speaking very quickly.
Well, you know, that's cool. I think you're just trying to get it out. You don't want people to be too attracted to you. I get it. You
Why
know,
not?
Really trying to get the words out. You know, I think John he doesn't have time for it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
time.
you
He doesn't
can't
have time.
I'm beating them all. Emphasis on all.
Welcome back, everybody. Board Ghost.
We had a great break.
Yeah, it was a great break.
Should we don't let's not talk about let's not say what we did.
No, nope.
That's fair.
Nope.
Yeah.
But welcome
it's
back.
only
Pretty good
for
break,
us.
though.
It was for us.
It is. And as you can obviously tell, we're back with our amazing guests, Tiffany E. Cook. Welcome.
Hello,
once
thank
again.
you.
And Chris Littler. We're very happy to welcome for the first time to the podcast.
It's been great
second
so
time, I
far.
guess, is
I
good
feel
to be.
good. I feel good so
I feel
far.
good about it as well.
Every one of my choices that I've made. Every single one
We've
of them.
made some
Definitely.
crazy choices. John, do you want to tell us about the grid that we generated last time?
Yeah, so actually, I think what's good to do is we kind of tell who our characters are
Let's
and
start.
where they
yeah.
are.
Okay.
and- So we'll
That-
start with
no,
you,
that's
Ken.
a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
You can kind of
Okay, everybody. So we, if you will remember, are on a resupply depot base in World War II France. The Allies are here. We're all playing American service personnel. My specific character is named Bear. Bear is a corporal in the military, in the Army, and he is sort of a huge, gruff, hairy warrior. He's been in the shit and has a really just bleak outlook on life. He's a war profiteer. He doesn't really give two shits about the propaganda, about why we're fighting the good fight. He sees people as generally equal on both sides of the conflict and just sort of being driven to kill each other by the higher powers. And so he's trying to get his. He has been, since he came back from the front, a black market truck driver, and he's really been trying to find how to get what he really wants, what he deserves, which is just a bunch of money and the good life, really, and getting out of this horrible situation. But he has fellow truck drivers with Chris's character.
Yeah, Coop Kincaid, whose accent has just shifted dramatically from beginning to end.
Yeah, you know.
Well, he's from Flagstaff, Arizona,
Arizona.
and I was giving him like a drawl.
Yeah, you were.
But I'm from Arizona, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
oh,
you
I
don't have a drawl.
So I thought that was wrong.
Maybe.
Well, but he could be rural.
Maybe he was a homesteader.
You know,
Maybe he was one of
rural
those-
folks do
Sure.
have a little bit of a
Arizona.
drawl.
I like to think he's just confused.
I mean, what was going on
He's
in Arizona
deeply
in the
confused.
40s? I don't even know, man.
The TB camps, tuberculosis camps.
Boom.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Like, we
Yeah.
would just go out there,
Woo,
Yeah.
TB
We'll
camps.
hit that in this act
Yeah,
for sure.
ride
maybe
their
that-
slopes in their iron lungs.
Yeah.
There's a deep backstory with Coop Kincaid that we have not explored.
Oh, yeah.
But we do know that he comes from a long line of potters. Haven't really gotten to the potter stuff yet, but right now he's just trying to get what he deserves and try not to get in too much trouble in this racket that he's doing. He's working with Bear to sell an SS dagger. And there was a silent auction that immediately went south.
Pretty south. I mean, we were selling other things at the silent auction, like cigarettes and shoes and,
like a
coats.
bath set.
A bath bomb.
Just a basket of bath bombs that was there.
I really wanted
there.
the butter bear bath bomb, but I wasn't able to get it.
It would have been a little too obvious.
I
know. So the auction went poorly, and Coop Kincaid, when we last left him, was just sleepily telling his good pal, Private Benny, to, just go off with the code that was attached to the dagger, and
that's right, the secret code.
See what he can do with it.
Yeah, so my character, Benny Three Boots McFae, nervous fella, is looking to get rich, get his, is a very patriotic man, shares that trait with his buddy Coop. And
they love their country.
He
USA.
was not too happy about the selling of an SS dagger.
No, he was not happy about that.
But something about this code has caught his eye, and really, he's like, I ran over and wanted to get that dagger and figure things out. And unfortunately, Sergeant Sleepy's cabin, where he had kept the dagger after confiscating it,
the most exciting and dynamic character of our first session, Sergeant Sleepy.
In his attempt to snatch away the dagger, old Benny Three Boots stabbed the sergeant.
Where did he stab him exactly? Do you know?
Liver.
He's liver stab?
Bile. Liver.
Bile stab.
Right.
Ooh, that's
in
brutal.
the liver.
Oh,
so
he's like,
side.
So
Yep.
And I brought in my desperation, I brought it to my contact at the Red Cross,
which is me, Betsy Green. And I started to attempt to save him, trying to save Benny's ass because, I really like Benny for some reason. We're good poker buddies.
Well,
and
he owes you a bunch of money.
He does.
At this
He owes
point.
me a lot of money. So I want to make sure that he can pay up at some point. I don't want him in jail because then, he's not going to be able to pay me back.
But you have a lot of dirt on him too.
It's true. I do. I have a lot of dirt on him.
You're kind of running the game on him.
It's very true. And so he kind of tells me to help him out, and I'm like, really? All right, fine. If you really want me to, I'm a nurse. I'll let this guy go. But if I'm gonna fix this, we gotta make it look legit, and so we got to make it look like suicide.
Right.
And so I ask for help finding another knife because clearly we can't leave the SS dagger with it, otherwise we're all implicated.
And so Sergeant Sleepy is dead now, and Benny was going to go get some tools to do away with the body somehow.
Right.
Or a knife.
Or a knife or
suicide,
something.
Yeah.
And what's our relationship? What's Betsy's
So,
and Bear's relationship?
Betsy and
Or
Bear
Green and Bear, as the case may be.
have a relationship that it states brothers in arms.
That's right.
Which we have decided is through the Odd Fellows.
Yeah, we're both oddly we both belong to a secret society of do-gooders, though neither of us are that. I guess you're a do-gooder to some degree. I don't.
To some degree.
I don't know. I think I stole my Oddfellows pen, honestly.
All signs point to yes on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
I totally. Yeah,
and I've definitely
I have a Mason's pin too.
And I was talked into hanging on to that dagger, so I'm definitely implicated as a part of this group at this point because I had been talked into hanging onto the dagger because of our Oddfellows connection.
That's right. I gave it to you for safekeeping, and thus you were in on the silent auction because we held it in your Java Junction, your Red Cross coffee tent. Before it was broken up by Sergeant Sleepy.
And we're all somehow attempting to get money out of this, despite the fact it's been split 3 ways.
We've promised each other various percentages of the sale of this item that may or may not jive with each other. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
But we all think we're getting our cut, which is what matters.
We're all heading on a bad collision course, and further to that, we have 2 tilts on the table, John. What are our tilts?
So we have tragedy, death out of the blue, and mayhem, a frantic chase. So those will come into play going into our second act.
And any of us can sort of tap onto those when we want to, when we feel like something in our scene might use
warrant
or
it,
benefit or warrant. Yes, those things coming in. Okay, I feel like I'm going to set my first scene. I'm coming to Betsy Green. I think this is going to be in the Java Junction. This would be early the next morning, basically, after the death of Sergeant Sleepy. I'm going to come into the tent, and I'll look around, and I'll say, Green, I got to talk to you about something.
Yeah, what's up?
Sergeant Sleepy's missing.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't fall out this morning for roll call. The camps, the MPs are looking all around for him. I just wanted to let you know.
Where do you think you might be?
I honestly don't give a fuck. I don't care where he is. I don't care. As long as he's off our backs, that's the most important thing.
What are people saying out there?
They're saying that he went AWOL and might have gone to the nearby French town to try and find some smack. I mean, that's what they're whispering. You know, he nodded off all the time. That's why, you know, he's sick on that stuff.
Anything else going around?
Well, you know, I had come to make sure that you have the item secure. I just wanted to see it again.
Well, I'm not entirely sure where that is right now.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, because, you know, it was in Sergeant Sleepy's tent, so where did it go?
That's a great question. I thought you had it. I didn't even know he had it. I thought you hid it during the auction.
Nope, it got taken, remember? That's why Benny went and was trying to figure out what happened to it.
Benny has the knife?
No, he doesn't have it.
All right. Well, okay. Green, you're feeding me something here because we got to find this knife if we're going to sell it.
Well, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what happened to it. So you might need to check in with some other folks because I got to be a little bit careful about this here.
Great. Green, I'm going to be sent back to this front soon. I want to be ground down and killed out there. And I ain't going to be sent back to that front. This score is my ticket out of here. I really got to find this. And I need your help to find it.
I'll do what I can. But we need
to find... How does the scene go for me, everybody? How does the scene go for me?
It doesn't seem to be going well for Bear.
Yeah, it goes poorly. So now it's the second round. We keep the die. We don't bounce them anymore. Doesn't go well for Bear. Okay. He nods, says, "All right. Well, I think it goes poorly in that there's a break, I think, between Green and Bear where
distrust.
A lot of distrust. Yeah, that he's not sure what's going on at this point. He's really distrustful of Benny, and he's like, Benny and Green have always been super buddy and chummy. He knows that they play cards together. He thinks he might be being swindled, and so he leaves the situation thinking that Green might now be his enemy. And I think that's where we'll call it. Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to be out working on one of my trucks, and I'd love to have Benny out there with me. And maybe Benny's kind of pacing back and forth, hasn't really had a long night, has had quite a long night. And we're going over Benny's story here.
Hey, Coop. Oh, Coop, come on.
Benny, there's a really good chance that you're gonna get in a lot of trouble here.
Oh no, I think I got it. I think I got it sorted. I got it sorted out.
You're the worst liar I've ever met in my life.
Oh, no.
You're the absolute worst liar.
I got it.
Can you hand me that? Can you hand me that wrench, please?
Yeah, here.
Thank you.
Hey. No, look, I got it sorted. I got the perfect plan. It's already gone. It's already set up. Nobody's gonna know nothing.
You were talking in your sleep last night, Benny.
Oh.
Everyone in the bunk could have heard it if they were listening close, trying to put two and two together.
Well, what'd you hear?
I heard it's something about someone's foot getting like sawed off, trying to stuff someone in a hole. Sergeant Sleepy's missing this morning. I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to put two and two together.
I didn't cut nobody up. I didn't do nothing to Sleepy.
I'm just saying you got to think about your exit strategy here, Benny, because it doesn't look good from here.
All right, well, look, it's all going to be fine, all right? I think I put it to bed. You need to figure out what our next score is going to be.
What our next score is going to be? Are you even listening to yourself?
You got to look
Benny?
forward.
Benny, you're supposed to be the guy that the thermometer. You're supposed to be my thermometer, but you're in too hot. You're in over your head right now.
We got to be cool on this. I'm not too hot on this.
Where's the coat? Where's the sheet that you got? The thing that was wrapped in the dagger.
It's here. It's got a little. I got a little blood on it. I'm sorry. When I cut myself shaving.
You know what this looks like? It kind of looks like coordinates. I'm holding it this way. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe we're so obsessed with this like one score, but maybe there's a bigger score to be found. Something that could be split more ways.
I mean, why we don't got to bring nobody else in on it. I mean, we'll split it 2 and 2.
Oh, if Bear found out that we were doing a score without him, he'd lose his mind.
Yeah, but this is a guy who wants to pass off, like, Kraut merchandise, Like,
That's
put it
true.
on a pedestal.
He's not a true believer like us.
What kind of American would want a fucking Nazi knife over their mantle?
Yeah,
Like a shrine to Hitler?
that's true. Yeah, kind of
That's
like
not American.
Kind of curious about where he got that too.
It goes positively, very, very positively for our good
What
friends.
does that mean for Coop?
For Coop.
I think that he's convinced Benny that this is worth going out to the coordinates to find out if there's a bigger score for the two of them and breaking off just the two. And the car is humming.
The car's humming. The truck that you might need to smuggle something in or leave the base on is ready to go.
Feels good.
Feels good.
My scene starts shortly thereafter. I'm grabbing my pack, and hey, Coop, listen, I gotta run over to Green's and drop something off. All right, I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, hurry
and
back.
then I'll do the run with you.
All right, hurry back.
And I skedaddle over to you. You're actually in the Java Junction.
As
Hey,
Benny's
taking a
running,
coffee break.
I think while Benny's running over, we see like there's some higher ups that have showed up at this camp because they've gotten whiff of something going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see some higher ranked officers being escorted
Around. Yeah, they're
around.
Yeah, they're giving the tour.
So they actually we come up. They start congregating outside Java Junction, and we hear them say, "It's real strange. We found old Sleepy in bed with this woman. Looks like he was caught in there in some sort of tryst, and he must have got stabbed along with this girl that he was with, and her husband looks like he shot her before he took her down."
My first instinct is that it's a really unlikely story, but my second instinct is it's a very likely story, just based on some stuff that I've been reading in the newspaper.
You know you can't trust these sergeants.
That guy had all sorts of problems, I'll tell you what.
Hey, so Betsy, I got that thing sorted. All right, like everything's gonna be okay. Nobody's gonna worry about Sleepy.
What have you done?
Oh, I just sorted things out. All right.
Betsy's covered in blood. Not her own.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I don't know how to explain this to them all.
There's nothing you gotta explain. Look. All right, so I still got that Kraut knife. That's the first thing we gotta get rid of. And look, I'm about to ditch out with Coop for a little bit, but I can't have that on me. I gotta pass a couple points. So can you take it back? I mean, you had it in the first place. Give it back to Bear or something.
Where's the rest of it? Where's the cipher?
Oh, I don't got it no more. Listen. Coop's...
What do you mean you don't got it? We need that. We need that if we're gonna get out of this.
No. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right.
This ain't what's shit without that.
Oh no. You just take it. Look, I gotta get out of here. I gotta run with Coop. So how's it gonna go for us?
Yeah, it goes positive.
Goes well.
Yeah, it goes well.
So I push the dagger off on you and be like, "You gotta hide it fast. Come on." And the sergeants and
I hear they have good Java in here.
Yeah, well, the name is over the entrance. It better be good.
She quickly ducks underneath one of the cots and just stays hidden with this dagger so they don't see her covered in blood. And she hides out and listens in for a little bit as these folks kind of look around.
I leave the Java Junction and I hear a couple privates being like, "Oh, did you hear the news? Yeah, Sleepy was getting around. I mean, he got him some. He even took out the guy's husband before he got offed." And I breathe a sigh of relief and shuffle off to find Coop.
So I think that she's a little bit irritated with Benny right now because she feels like she lost out on this potential find. She'd already figured out that they were coordinates and didn't really want to share that with anybody because she kind of wanted to find this thing on her own, and she's pissed that she doesn't have access to it anymore. So she's gonna grab Bear and they're gonna go after these two. So she goes over and
Yeah, Bear is getting his truck ready for the night. He is a black market truck driver. He's got a run to make. And he looks pissed off. He looks super pissed off. And as she comes over, he's like,
"All right, Bear, I know you're mad at me, but we need to talk.
I can't. I don't have time for you right now. Have you seen Coop
Do you
around?
want to get that damn knife back?
What do you mean back?
I know where it is."
What do you mean you know course you know where it is. You should have it, right? Don't you have it?
Yeah, I've got it, but I want to find out more about where it came from.
What are you talking about?
That paper that
The
came
Morse
off of it?
code? You found out what it
It's
said?
not a Morse code.
What?
Those
is
are
it?
coordinates.
Holy shit.
We need to go after Coop and 3 Boots. They went to go find it. Sorry, guys.
I know Coop and that motherfucker, he was supposed to be here to help me on my run tonight. And he's going off with Benny, you're saying? With 3 Boots?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I know where they are. I think I know it. You get in the cab. Let's go.
All right, let's get going.
How does this scene end for us?
It seems pretty well it's going pretty well for
All
you
right.
guys.
Okay.
All right.
So what does that mean?
So we get going and we take off, and I had kind of been watching for Benny and like watched the way that their truck went off, and so we start heading in that direction, and we catch up to them enough to be able to kind of tail them a little bit, and so we're kind of rolling along behind them at a fair distance, and this is like pretty typical because it's a well-known like throughway.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So we're following them.
We're following them at this point.
We're following you guys. You're both super paranoid already about what could be going on, and I think that you're going to try and lose us. I think we're having a chase. We're driving around, and I'm driving and you're driving, Coop, and we both fail to take a corner at a high speed, and we both spin out and crash out. We're following each other through these sort of different roads, and we both sort of spin out and crash out on this sort of picturesque country road. There's flames, there's smoke. I don't know how badly the trucks are beat up, but at least one of them is on their side.
They're mangled.
They're mangled, yeah. They're fiery crash, mangle wreck. And so I'm messed up. Like, I think I'm wearing my seatbelt, but are there even? No, there's no seatbelts. There's no seatbelts in this time and place. No. Ralph Nader doesn't exist yet. There's no seatbelts. Yeah,
no,
we are fucked up.
You were ejected.
Yeah. Hopefully ejected, if not crushed underneath all this stuff. So yeah, we're all 4 of us are really fucked up. I need to know how the scene ends for me before I keep going.
How it ends?
Yeah, how does the scene end
bad?
for me?
What do you guys feel?
Poorly.
It ends poorly for me. Cool. So if it ends poorly for me, then what that means is that my leg has been broken, my right leg, and I pull myself from the fiery wreck, and I'm just like making my way, crawling hand over hand, pulling myself, willing my body towards the other wreck. I see the SS dagger in the dirt. I grab it as I'm making my way to the other wreckage, and I look in, and I don't see either of the men that I am looking for, and that is where my scene went.
What do you mean you don't see either of the men?
I don't see you guys in the cab.
Oh, we're not in there?
Yeah, you're not in there.
That's because Coop Kincaid has tumbled out and had a tree branch go right into one of his eyes. So he's just screaming bloody murder on the forest floor, clearly in pure agony, and just kind of reeling back and forth with his tiny hands trying to get the branch out of his face, but he doesn't quite know what to do. Yeah, I guess I need to know what...
You want to call it right away?
I think that he's kind of down for the count at this point. Unless you guys want to go for a spirited flashback back to 20 years. No,
yeah, you could do a flashback.
Let's do just real quick flashback to
maybe moments before the crash with Benny.
No, I just like to have a quick moment where Coop's mothers are just looking at his beautiful baby eyes and saying,
you flashback to him as a baby.
She's singing a little song of like, your beautiful eyes, you've got the most beautiful baby eyes. I love your eyes, especially this one right here. Flashback. Flash forward to the present. That eye is gone now.
That eye is gone.
He's got a so it's true tragedy.
How do you feel, Tiffany? How does this go for Coop?
I think that it goes. I think it goes well.
Yeah, it goes positively for Coop. Good old Coop. Good old one-eyed Coop.
So positively is just not. I guess he's probably just passing out. I think
he's passing
just
out.
Sweet relief.
Okay. Yeah.
And the twig is in there in a way that there's not just blood gushing out. It hasn't like severed an artery or anything.
Okay.
It's just
Okay.
in his face.
Okay.
And he passes out.
All right.
All right.
Set back in the woods,
Yeah.
like a good ways from there. There's just still like a little bit of light flickering from the fires in a pile of leaves. Benny sits bolt upright. Oh, jeez, what happened? Oh, jeez. He had been flung through the windshield and just sort of tumbled and landed.
in some leaves. Landed
And
in some
he
pillowy
brushes
leaves.
some glass out of his hair.
Sure.
Oh, jeez. Coop. Hey, Coop. Oh, jeez, this is not good. All right. Oh. And I start making my way back to the area, and I see Coop passed out on the ground, a stick in his eye. And I go to like, oh, jeez. Oh, Coop. Oh, you're still breathing. All right. I'll leave you be. Hey, let me see here. And I take the
piece of
code
paper. Yeah.
out of
Yoink.
Coop's pocket, and I head over to the cab of the car. I'm like, oh, hey, Bear, you're not looking so good, buddy.
Benny. Where are you going?
Oh, I don't know. Just making sure everybody's okay. All right.
I
Like
put the dagger up at you, even though I'm on the ground, and I say, help me up.
you're okay. Like, did you tell them where you? I mean, well, no, you didn't, because you're black marketing, right? So they don't know that you're off base. I mean, we're gonna be in a ton of trouble. Look, I should just head back, okay? And I'll get us help. All right?
No, we're going to those coordinates. We're finding what we're coming out here for. Now help me up, or God damn it, I'm gonna cut your damn dick off.
Oh, geez, that doesn't sound very nice there, Bear. That doesn't sound very nice at all. You're hurt real bad, Bear. You're hurt real bad. And I cock my gun.
Click.
How is this going to go for Benny?
I think it goes well for Benny. Benny's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Bear, I'm so sorry about this, but better me than one of them Nazi bastards, right?
Quick flashback to Bear's childhood.
Bear's
His
childhood.
mother is just cradling his head, saying, "You've got a great looking head.
You got a great looking head of hair.
Hope this head stays
Yeah.
together forever."
My little choochie bear.
And back to the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I shoot.
Yeah.
I shoot Jimmy Bear Hagen with Coop's gun,
Yeah. With Coop's gun. Nice.
and I drop it. It's a real shame, War's real hard on people. And I look at the coordinates, and I start walking off into the night.
As you're starting to walk away, you hear, and Green is just like tucked under into this like weird contortion within the truck, and like is bleeding and has glass all over her, and clearly has a broken hand, but she's like starting to come to after having been passed out for a little while. Help! Help! Help!
Oh, jeez.
We hear American voices in the distance.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Hey, Betsy, come on. I still owe you. Come here. And I try to work you out of the cab.
The American voices are getting closer and closer.
Oh, jeez.
Three Boots, is that you?
There's a flame over here.
Yeah, come on.
must have gone
Let's
this
get you out of here.
Okay. And she kind of like uses Benny as like a crutch as she like starts to like kind of, tumble out of the car, and he kind of yanks open the door, and she falls and gets some like dirt and rocks up in her like mangled hand, and she's like, oh!
Shh. You gotta be quiet. Come on.
Oh, it hurts.
Let's get
It
out of
hurts.
here. Come on, shush.
Over here, boys.
Come on, hurry.
Let's take the dogs out.
And she starts kind of stumbling off with Benny, and they move forward a bit. And the question is, what happens? Good or bad?
Wild.
It is wild.
It is wild.
So this is for Betsy. Does it go well, poorly or well for Betsy, Chris? What do you think?
I think it goes well for her.
I think I like that too. I think
the
it
two
goes
of
well
them-
as well.
Two of them scramble off.
Well, it goes well for Betsy at least.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
So for me at this point, because she's pretty tight with Benny and she needs that money back and she wants to make something off of this, she gets, I think, kind of carried along by Benny, and they start making their way towards the coordinates and try to leave those Americans back in the dust.
Okay,
Other
cool.
Americans.
You're able to.
There's a small explosion.
Yeah,
Other
exactly.
Americans, yes.
And they find 2 trucks and 2 drivers.
Yep.
All right. So that's the end of our scene. So now we're going to roll our
roll.
pool and
we'll
generate our
Add them
aftermath.
together. This will tell us what our aftermath is, and then each of these die will be a scene in our ending montage. We'll go around and do them one at a time. I got negative results all the way through for Bear, so I actually probably have the negative high, the black high. I rolled a 12, which is actually pretty good, is the literal result. All things considered, you're coming out of this smelling like a rose. You're a little better off. Maybe you got the girl, or maybe you just didn't get caught. So that informs my aftermath, my montage. Though I do have negative results for all of my aftermath. So I did pretty good, but we'll see how that manifests.
I'm sporting a white 7.
Nice.
Which is weak. Hey, you're busted, beaten, broke down, but at least you learned a lesson about human greed and frailty, right? It'll serve you well in prison, which is where you are probably headed. I think so.
Nice. Well, we'll find out during your scenes.
Find out.
Yeah, how this all comes together. Because we
So-
still haven't really found out what the coordinates are and that sort of stuff
I
either.
hope we never find
Maybe,
out.
okay,
You
yeah.
know,
well,
it's the
yeah,
mystery.
it could be the mystery. Leave them wanting more.
And I'm in the same boat, in that same range with a white 6. Weak. Hey, you're busted, beaten, broke down, but at least you've learned a lesson about human greed and frailty, right? It'll serve you well in prison, which is where you'll probably end up. So, same deal.
And how about for you, Tiffany?
All right, so I have a white 2, which is merciless.
Oof.
You might not be dead on the outside, but you sure as hell are dead on the inside. The emotional or mental wounds you have suffered will never heal. The future is a brick wall.
Wow, it's dark.
Cool. So let's start it off with Bear. Bear, last we saw him, his leg was broke. He'd been shot, probably in the head or the chest region, and he was bleeding out to death on the dirt road.
Clutching an SS dagger.
Clutching an SS dagger. Yes, that's true. That's true. So we see another truck, a medical truck with the Red Cross on it, and sort of the gray green of military camouflage, and we see Bear on a stretcher,
Medic.
surrounded by a team of medics who are trying to patch him up and give him blood. And one of them is saying, "Can you wiggle your toes? Can you wiggle your toes?" And Bear is not able to wiggle his toes.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I think the same ambulance is pulling Coop Kincaid into it, and they're pulling Coop Kincaid into the ambulance, and they're carting him back towards Lucky Strike. And I like to think that Coop ends up in a cot next to just the most annoying screamer. Just someone who's having the worst time, and Coop he has the branch taken out of his face. He has survived it, but he is blind in one eye and just has to listen to this guy scream, scream, scream the night away.
Sounds like a negative, maybe?
Negative, yeah.
You're negative? Yeah.
All right. So even with Betsy slowing him down, old Benny makes his way towards the coordinates, and it leads to this bunker, this concrete bunker that's covered in branches and grass,
hidden
and,
bunker.
and hidden away in the side of a field, the side of a hill in a field.
As Betsy and Benny get to this bunker, she's still suffering from the car crash, and they don't realize how much. And so she, despite all of Benny's help getting there, passes out. Which
She passes out on the way there. Okay. I think that we are going to. I think that I think that we're going to flash forward to Bear in a wheelchair at a at like an award ceremony where he's being given a commendation for his valor and going above and beyond as he's trying to chase down those AWOL soldiers in his unit. Even going so far as to sniffing out one of some sort of dastardly plot that for war profiteering. Bear is not implicated at all. He seems to be getting accolades, but he doesn't give a fuck. He's paralyzed and he's like super morose and just like there for appearances because it's like he wants to get discharged and get out of here.
I'd similarly like to jump ahead in time back to America, where Coop Kincaid is he's trying to enjoy a movie at the movie theater at the Picture House. Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Movie
Yeah.
house,
Cinema,
Nickelodeon,
Mm-hmm.
and he thinks he sees someone that looks just like Benny, and walking out, and he follows him out there, and he grabs him by the shoulder, and it's not Benny
And
at
it's
all.
not him. It's not Benny.
All right. So Benny, still with Betsy, kind of like dead weight on his arm, cracks open the bunker, and what little light from the moon pours in and shimmers over vast sea of treasures.
Yes.
So much gold, artwork. He just drops Betsy to the floor, and his jaw drops.
She's
at the
passed
same
out
time.
anyway. She doesn't know.
As they are kind of sinking in, and as Benny kind of drops to the floor, when he drops Betsy, she triggers an explosion.
Like she had an explosive on her?
No, like there's like an
Like a
explosive
tripwire?
in, like a tripwire.
There's like a
Yeah.
mine, like a booby
tripwire,
trap.
and,
Yeah.
And as he kind of like, he's so excited that he kind of drops her in
Yeah.
this process,
Yeah.
and
That trips
she
the wire.
Trips the wire.
Classic.
And this explosion just kind of like, fucks up the inside or the very front of the bunker, and Benny has already kind of stumbled in to like, look over his treasures, and as this happens, Betsy just gets blown back and
Out and away.
yeah, just completely outside of the bunker, and we don't know yet what has happened to her.
Cool. Yeah, we'll flash back to the States. It's post-war period. Bear goes like he tries to get his life together. He tries to do PT to like walk again. He tries to use his GI build, like go to a community college, but he's wheelchair bound. He can't get in. It's really tough. There is no Americans with Disabilities Act at all. He is seen as a burden on society, which really fucks with him. But oddly enough, he has this weird sort of like sense of he got what he deserved. Like that he was screwing over so many soldiers the whole time there, but now the government is paying for his whole life. He's a wounded soldier, and he's just on disability now for the rest of his life. He's quote unquote taken care of.
It's the mid 1950s, and Coop Kincaid is getting married.
Nice.
We're at his wedding, and he has a good collection of family and friends surrounding him. Seems like he's got like a pretty decent community around him. He's sporting a beautiful velvet eye patch, looking kind of badass. And they're cutting the cake, and he does his bit where he like pretends like he can't get to the cake, like he can't quite get it, and his wife guides his hand and pushes it down and cuts the cake.
Oh, very nice.
All right. So, ears ringing, blood pouring out of them a little bit, dripping down, and dust from inside the bunker. Benny gets up and blinks, just zzz, with a tinnitus like crazy. But he's surrounded by gold, and he can't believe his luck. This is the best. And he just starts digging through it. There's all this good stuff. Oh, there's a door in the floor too.
Hey, who knew?
There's no end to the treasures. And he opens the door.
Yeah. John. Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
Flash forward to sobs as Betsy's funeral is taking place in Boston, and her mother is sobbing, "Oh, my girl," and she is grateful that Betsy died quick, and is now resting at home.
Cool. For my final montage scene, we see Bear at a book signing. He is an older man. It's probably the early 70s at this point, and he has written a hot, new, exciting war thriller about Nazi treasure and U.S. service personnel who are betraying each other. It's really playing well with the anti-war movement as well as those Cold War warriors who really love spy novels. He was able to go back to college and get his degree in English and start writing books. He's doing pretty well for himself, but he continues to be locked in his wheelchair and is just a bitter hater of the American military as well as those fellow soldiers who were with him. He takes no pleasure in meeting or seeing other soldiers. And we basically see him having security remove one said person from his book signing as we close on Bear.
I would say it's probably the mid-'80s. And Coop Kincaid is sitting in his easy chair, and he finishes his lazy boy. And one of his grandkids is just hanging out reading a comic book next to him. And Coop closes a copy of What You Deserve by Jimmy Bear Hagen. He closes it and kind of thinks for a second, and then walks over to the fireplace and just chucks it in there.
Nice.
And returns to his seat and thinks about his life.
All right. With his grandkid. Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Right. So from out of the dark.
back to the bunker.
In the bunker.
Underneath the
Back to the bunker.
There's a...
Underneath the bunker. Sub-bunker.
Some gray-suited Nazis pour from the tunnel in the bunker and surround Benny. And his hands are in the air.
Kind of a bagel.
His hands are in the air. He's like, they're yelling at him, "I don't speak Nazi. I don't know what you're talking about, you krauts." And he spins, kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and they crack him in the jaw with the barrel of the gun, and he falls. And Colonel Klink walks up.
Oh, come on.
Well, you know, some...
Hogan!
I knew it.
Some German officer says, "Oh, we've caught another one with our honeypot," he says in German.
Yeah.
And takes the Morse code and he has like a bag of daggers like that, and just tucks it in
Unwraps
that bag.
it, it's a piece of gum.
An insidious German plot.
Insidious.
Yeah. And,
it's all red herring.
Oh, man.
So the final scene is Betsy's mother receiving a letter stating that while they are so sorry for her loss, that Benny was actually returned a war hero and Betsy was implicated in the entire smuggling / like black market
war profiteering
of all the shenanigans
War shenanigans
of this SS Dagger, and so she has disgraced the family. They never speak about her ever again as Benny takes home accolades for being a prisoner of war.
Postmortem.
Postmortem. Very nice. And that's a fiasco.
Hey, what a fiasco that was.
So with that, our story ends. We'll return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho. Where can people find you, Ken?
Oh, hey, everybody. Thanks again for listening. And thanks again, big times, to Chris Littler of Chamber Band and Tiffany E. Cook of Being Awesome. And you can find me, Ken Breese, on Twitter at burlingsbeard.com, as well as Instagram and my own website. I'd love to interact with you guys there. So tweet me or shout me out on Instagram. I actually posted some photos of this session, so maybe you guys want to check those out. All right, take it easy.
Is it my turn
Yeah,
to
sure,
say
yeah,
goodbye?
sure, yes, whatever,
That was
Chris.
so final that
I
I
know.
felt. Okay, well, I'm Chris,
I know.
and
We'll put that at the end.
Okay, great. Now I'll seem weird.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Littler. This has been a blast and a half. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Cool.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything you guys want to pitch at all? Or
plug?
To
Anything?
plug,
Yeah, sure.
you can always go to chamberband.com or chrislittler.com and check out our wares.
Yeah, you guys just had an album that you just kickstarted, right?
Yeah, I just kickstarted
Congratulations.
album number 3,
Yeah,
so
cool.
keep an eye on the website for that.
Yeah, good
Awesome.
times.
Cool. Yeah.
Tiffany?
And yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming back.
Of course. Yeah, no, I had a blast. My name is Tiffany Cook. You can find me at Tiffany E. Cook on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Find me there, and I'd love to chat and talk more about gaming and social justice.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming on. It was fun.
good.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
good.
this was a blast.
for having
More flesh.
Yeah, more flesh.
Oh,
Fresh
God.
blood.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yay! To learn more about the players and engine in our story, visit boardghost.com. You can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at BoardGhostWorld on Twitter. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fulfill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes, your preferred listening portal, and please take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's page, hotelsandhighways.com. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, but has it been forever? 'Cause dying don't